The Tchaikovsky Fifth Symphony is, for a very good reason, beloved all over the world ever since it was composed, ever since it was premiered. And Tchaikovsky, of course, is the representative of Russian music of the 19th century. In fact, the first genuine symphonist in Russian music. And he was a rather towering figure in his time. He remained so as well. But in his time, it was quite interesting because he, in a way, personified that segment of the Russian society that looked to the West and identified with the Western values and Western traditions and Western way of life. I'm privileged to have been born and to have lived in the place where Shostakovich was creating his music. He visited Leningrad very frequently, and he was very much performed. And one would see him quite often in the small Philharmonic Hall, where lots of chamber music of his was performed. In fact, the artistic director of that hall was an extraordinary lady who was my professor of music literature at the Glinka School. And she told us so much about him. She was a great friend of his. And she had his music performed, I mean, non-stop, and he was often present there. And so one could see this man standing and twitching and being extremely nervous and hardly saying anything. That's how it was. But then you understand also the spirit of his music. Having seen the man and having heard him speak very fast, very broken and extremely shy. I was struck many years ago when I started coming here by the openness of spirit of the audiences of this orchestra. People are used to hearing music they don't know. They're open about it. Afterwards, they will have an opinion about it, but not before. And equally, of course, they are very aware of the traditional repertoire, but it is this kind of mixture of taste and mixture of curiosity that one feels very much with this audience, which makes it rather exceptional in this country. What is distinctive about them, I think, is the chemistry of the personalities in the group. The way I look at it, of course, I'm an outsider, but I'm sensitive to the dynamics inside the group when the music is being made, and also the way there is a human chemistry between them. My impression is that this is a group of people who like being with each other, who like making music with each other, who are not unkind to each other. And so it translates into a very creative and at the same time relaxed atmosphere in the rehearsals. They have a very quick sense of humor. They're very easy to make laugh, but at the same time they immediately go back to being very concentrated because the time is not to be wasted. And so it's this and the capacity of listening to each other, which can only come from two factors. One is, of course, a superior musicianship, and the second one is a desire to make music with each other, because if you don't have the desire, you don't want to listen.